Serious, dark web users of Reddit, was there ever a point in your use that you felt you were genuinely in danger? What happened? Not the modern dark web, but back in the days of Usenet I posted some harsh criticism in alt.religion.scientology. Yes, that was a typo for Scientology, but I'm leaving it for context of a bunch of posts. The online threats were funny, but when I started getting death threats by mail I backed the duck off. Yes, Scientology is a dangerous type of cult, and unless you are prepared to go full Inquisition and burn them all at the stake, it is better to stay far away. They have killed, and will kill, to protect the organization. We still have no idea what happened to Shelley. I mean, we have a pretty good idea. Hi Karen. I've never personally felt I was in actual danger, so to speak, since I take proper precautions, but early on I did accidentally come across a site forum while exploring that was filled with snuff photos of women people had assaulted and then knocked out or killed. Shut down my browser pretty quick after that, but felt uneasy for a long time after. Don't frequent it a lot, but once I accidentally left my browser in full screen and a stranger in a chat room asked me if my curved monitor was nice, freaked me out a bit. I was once in an anonymous chat room, with a made-up name and all that. A guy DM'd me, and asked what's it's like to live in the city I did. I noped the duck out of there. It's actually very easy to get an IP address, and by extension a general geographical location, of anyone using a chat site that utilizes a peer-to-peer connection. When I was younger I used to hop onto anonymous chat sites and screw with people by asking them stuff like that. Lol. Webcam turned itself on once. That was scary. I immediately unplugged it and my network cable, ran 3 complete scans of my system for malware and viruses. Found nothing. Hasn't happened since. This happened to one of my friends. He said the camera turned on and he was redirected to another website where he saw his own face and some kind of official seal with an eagle on the side. He didn't read what any of that said because he shut down his PC as fast as he could. He was really quiet and anxious for the next days I saw him at school. The first day he looked very scared and even looked pale. This was what prompted me to ask what happened. Sounds like it could have been one of those fake FBI scams. I had a similar one when I was a teenager on my first laptop. It loaded up the webcam and had a bunch of shit talking about how the US government was going to arrest me for piracy unless I sent them $200 on prepaid cards. It had the seal with the eagle and everything. Yeah, this is a super common one still. Sometimes they threaten to release browser history, photos of people in compromised positions, that they viewed CP sites, or threaten arrest. Hugely successful and ongoing scam. Couple of friends got hit with a compromised photo scam a few weeks ago. They were told there was video of them masturbating to whatever porn they were watching, and if they didn't pay the video would be leaked to everyone in their contacts. They didn't give any shits. Posted on FB like, hey everyone, someone just tried to blackmail me saying they have nude footage from hacking my webcam. So if it's true and gets posted you're welcome, I guess. I get that email every few months. But the joke's on them, I don't have a webcam. Had a buddy who used to order weed. The distributor got busted and the postal service let him know there was a suspicious package for him. He could either pick it up or it would be destroyed. Did he go to receive the package? Not unless he's a total idiot. Getting an illegal package addressed to you leaves you with plausible deniability if you've purchased it anonymously and covered your tracks. You can say, no thanks, I don't want anything to do with that because I have no idea what it is, and that'll be that. You just have to suck up the sunk costs. Trying to pick it up after you've been told it was suspicious and being held will earn you a nice talk with the authorities. Hey, we have your suspicious package here, and we're gonna destroy it if you don't come get it. To be honest, if I didn't know what was in it, I'd probably try and find out due to curiosity. Didn't order any meth, but if someone's shipping me any, I'd like to know. Yeah, accepting a suspicious package definitely doesn't seem like enough to charge you. If I randomly got a call from the post office saying that, I'd definitely be picking it up. If it's anthrax, it is what it is. The idea that the dark web is an extremely shocking and dangerous place is largely inaccurate. It's mostly weird libertarian blogs and very sterile Amazon-type websites for drugs, complete with reviews of different vendors. I remember my friend showing me where he bought his drugs online and seeing how well kept and formal it was. Like you said, it really was just an Amazon-type website for drugs with friendly and thorough reviews. Even saw in Reddit at the top something along the lines of, Website name, moderators will never ask for your password. I was pleasantly surprised to say the least, haha. Even saw in Reddit at the top something along the lines of, website name, moderators will never ask for your password. Now I'm just imagining some Neopets looking site selling drugs. I'm going to be camped at the money drug tree. Everything feels government owned. I used to frequent drug sites. They would go down for weeks at a time. Then pop up again, have weird prices. Sellers were different. It made the dark web feel like a lobby rent more than a ruleless wasteland. Came across a Chan-style site. Every post was about trains. Wouldn't say I felt in danger, but I felt so out of the loop that I was missing something that I just got off. One Chan? They just like trains. It's a hobbyist image board. I immediately thought this too. They're all there innocently chatting about trains, and this guy stumbles across it like WTF, this is some crazy shit. I own a fairly rare car that had a rare error code. I looked it up on Google and there was only one other person on the car makers forum that had the same error. And this guy took months and months going back and forth between car shops and the forum thread to try to get the issue fixed. Everyone on the forum was pitching in to try to help him. So I kept going through this long forum thread to try to figure out if he ever fixed it. And suddenly there's no more replies from the guy. Everyone was scratching their heads for a while. We thought he had maybe gotten the issue fixed and didn't bother to update us on it. Then one day, a news article popped up about a really rich guy who died in a Thai jail cell. And then we connected the two stories and they matched up. The same make and model of the car in the news article matched up with his car. And they were both claiming to be in Thailand at the time. So what happened was that same guy who was still talking on the forums got raided by the Thai police around the same time he stopped replying to the forum. Turns out that he was running one of the biggest dark web marketplaces where drugs were being sold and exchanged. It had something like $1 million in revenue per day and he was hiding out in Thailand while living in luxury. They found him dead in his jail cell a few days later. They claim he died of suicide. I suppose you are talking about Kaz, funder of Alphabet. The dude was stupid enough to use his real email ID, the one he was using for LinkedIn and all legal businesses, taxes etc., to send welcome messages to people who signed up on the website. Yes, Alphabet. I didn't think he was that bright, because I fixed the issue he had fairly easily. He just needed to replace the car battery. I think he didn't realize that the 12V outlet still powers on even when the car is off. So whatever was attached to the 12V battery, like the radar detector's laser jammers, would continuously drain the battery. You have to keep the car on a battery tender if you have anything plugged in. My car started having the same issue because the car shop that did the vinyl wrap on my car didn't put it on a battery tender. If you let the car battery drain to zero, it'll always have low voltage issues. And when you have low voltage issues, the car doesn't start up without jumping it. Replacing the car battery fixes this. It took me only a few days to figure this out. This guy took months. And it was only like a $600 fix. You don't just stumble onto the scary parts of the dark web, you had to have been looking for something sinister if you happen to come across one of the sites. Even then, getting access to said sites isn't as easy as most of them are invite-based. Most of it is just the normal internet with questionable forums, think 4chan but slightly worse, and petty drugs. It's very hard to reach the criminal parts of the dark web unless you have very specific URLs, and even then the host has the option to deny you access. However, once you're in, it can become a slippery slope. I'm willing to bet 99% of the sites you just stumble across while browsing the dark web, that talk about scary things such as hiring hitmen, money laundering, hacking, whatever, are just there for shock value. There are several such sites on the first pages of Onion link lists that have been up for years. If they were real, law enforcement surely would have been able to track them down by now. It's actually pretty easy for people over the internet to hide from law enforcement, especially when they aren't all in one place and are basically experts at hiding their location. There are dark websites that do get seized by law enforcement, although it's not super common, as it's hard to track them down like you stated. Usually the sites that are seized are pretty prominent ones, which is why I believe these popular shock sites are just that, shock value, otherwise they wouldn't be on so many link lists for years. From what I understand, they usually have to make really dumb mistakes outside of the whatever anonymity techniques they are using on the internet. Most of these people are not caught because the technology failed, they are caught because they failed to keep all of the information they put on the hidden internet anonymous. The guy who got busted running that giant Bitcoin drug market got caught because he was connecting to an internet cafe and a public library under the same login credentials as his darknet accounts and profiles. On top of that, he wrote on several darknet forums a bunch of information that was able to be pieced together and then compared to postings on a normal internet forum where he made an ostensibly braggadocious claim about being a major drug kingpin. Among the information that stripped him of his anonymity was writings on a libertarian ideology that were copy-pasted from a normal internet forum post, a claim that he had a degree in chemical engineering, and discussions on his favorite philosophers and artists. All of that together was enough to convince a judge that the guy running the drug market could reasonably be assumed to be the guy making those forum posts, and started issuing search warrants, and they were correct. Never once did the technical aspects of his darknet technology fail to protect him. He was just an idiot.